about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet I Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy be. What they say, live and level, live and level. We on that MIC, live and level, live and level. We just talking them games, live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level, live and level. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, people? This is your boy Levelhead. This is another Live and Level Gamers podcast. I don't know what number this is because I didn't write it down, but we got the people in the building, in the internets. Go ahead and introduce yourself, people. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, man? It's people.
What's up, folks? Who said that? Keith, I bet that was you.
I had to say it.
So we in here, man. We are in here. We rest to go. I have Mr. Norris. I have K-Bum 20. I have D2K. In the building. Let's go, man. I'm ready. I don't know what that was, but I'm ready. So let's get it in, man. So we're here to talk about games. We don't plan to be in front of you or in your ears for too long tonight. We're not going to hover over these topics for a long time. We're going to get straight into it. But before we do that, anything anybody want to throw out there? Anything interesting before we get into what you've been gaming on? What the heck? Hold up. Sorry about that.
This been an actual test? No.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to do that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Anybody?
That.
Anybody? Going once. Going twice. Okay, go ahead, D2. What's up with this Joker, man? Since nobody gonna say nothing. What's up with this Joker, man?
Go see it.
Go see it? Okay.
That's all I can say. I mean, I don't want to say anything. If you hadn't seen it, just go see it at least once.
Is it good? It's good.
Before we were talking about how we were concerned that it might be overblown because people were going overboard about it. People had saw the pre-screenings and everything. Like, really, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. It's a big deal.
Okay.
I mean, this movie, I think, single-handedly turned around the fortunes of it's not part of the DCU, but it still turned around the DC movie fortunes, literally.
So they
it's just
exactly making that money, huh?
Bags. This movie is, I don't know if it's gonna be the highest rated. I mean, worldwide it is, but not domestically. It's not the highest grossing rated R movie, but worldwide it's out of control.
Now I did hear it passed Deadpool.
Yeah.
As far as money. Okay.
As far as worldwide gross, yeah.
Okay. Keith, have you seen it yet? I hear you doing an impression. Have you seen it yet? Did he go in and go out?
Huh?
Oh,
y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, it's like D2K said. Go see this movie, so we can have a discussion on it because I think it's a talk piece, man, or a think piece. Like you can really pull something from this film, from that character, outside of the whole Batman universe stuff. I think it's pretty cool, and I think, how do you say dude's name, Joaquin? I think he did a phenomenal job.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been hearing too that Joaquin killed it. I talked to one of my buddies who's a critic.
One of your bots.
Not one of my buddies, my bad. Was you know, he's not really into all the comic book stuff, but you know what I'm saying, he like good movies, and you know what I'm saying, he says one of the best movies he's ever seen. He was giving crazy reviews about it. So he was saying it's the most realistic take on a kind of a comic book character that he's ever seen, alongside with the Batman Begins saga. So
okay.
Yeah, I kind of got the same. This did feel like along the side of the Chris Nolan Batman movies, and I think that's where DC needs to stay. They need to stay in that serious, grounded in reality style of movies. The best movies they've ever done are the ones where the character felt real and it felt the situations felt real and it didn't feel too big and over the top. You know, you think about the original Superman. The first two Superman movies with Christopher Reeve were amazing. Superman Returns could have been better if it had better vision. Wasn't his fault. The guy that played Superman, he did a good job, and now he's playing Superman on the Crisis on Infinite Earth series that's coming out pretty soon. That's going to be good. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be amazing. I mean that they really putting everything they got into that. I mean it seems like DC is doubling down on all the things that they do well, and that could kind of bleed over into our conversation about this next gen and what Nintendo needs to do going forward as well.
Okay, all right. Well, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. I've been hearing good things about it. D2K typically is pretty good with his taste in movies, so I trust your critique, and I also trust yours as well, Keith Norris. So I was trying to get me and the wife out to one of them $5 foot long. No, anyway.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Anyway, I'm trying to get us out there. So what's wrong?
I see what you did there.
Tuesday. Anyway, that's LeBron be doing that, but let's go on into this next thing. You know how we do. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Oh. Sing it, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? Now y'all can sing along. What you been gaming on? What you been gaming on? What you been gaming on? I like that soprano out there. What you been gaming on? What you been gaming on? Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. Now, we ain't gonna take all day on this. We gonna run through this real quick. So, quick synopsis, quick takes on what you've been gaming on. Starting with you, Keith Norris. What you been gaming on, bro?
Still playing on this Zelda.
You still stuck in that dungeon
right now?
I'm
in the egg.
No, I ain't. See, I told you I was gonna jump back. I've been back on that Astro train. Go ahead, though. I said I ain't gonna take that forever. Go ahead.
No, I'm in the egg. I don't know what to do.
Man, you know what? I'm stuck in the Dungeon of Turtle. That's why I stopped playing, because I couldn't figure out where I need to go next. I'm so sick of trying to find these keys. Okay, but so you in the egg? How you liking the game so far, though? Because I don't think you was able to talk about it last week, right?
No, because I hadn't played that much. But it's Zelda. It's everything that you expect from a Zelda game. But yeah, it's cool. It's cool to be back in this formula.
Okay.
I think the performance could be better. There's a lot of slowdown. I'm shocked that they haven't released a patch for it yet, but I'm almost done with the game. So keep your patch.
Now, what does the patch supposed to do?
I'm just saying that to eliminate some of these stutters.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Welcome to the show, Navon Wise TV. He said, I think that's how you say it. Navon, I think it's Navon, something like that. But he said, finally catching this live. Finally. Anyway, I ain't gonna do what you said. Anyway, so sounds like I'm watching some Family Matters. What you mean? We sound like Family Matters? Are you talking about our what you been gaming on? Taking you to church? Anyway, K-Bun, what you been gaming on, bro?
I've been gaming on, grinding on that MUT for Madden. Been playing that. It's actually been a little bit more fun. I got my team good enough to compete online, so I've been whooping cats online. That's been pretty fun. I've tried to play that 2K. Man, that 2K is so bad this year. It's so bad.
You gonna get in there.
Man, a lot of my partners, man, that we've been playing 2K nonstop since 14. I rarely see them playing it, man. It is terrible. So just a tad bit of that, very little. I've actually been playing FIFA more than 2K. And again, we get about 5 guys. We all hop on the same team, and we play against other people. I mean, I'm pretty much all the games I play. I'm usually playing with other people, except when I like playing with single players every now and then. But most of my gaming is playing with multiple people. It's pretty cool. But play FIFA and then just a tad bit of Overwatch, just here and there. Actually made it to platinum this year. You guys don't play Overwatch, you have no idea what that means. But people who do understand what I'm saying. It's an accomplishment. I'm happy. So doing that, and that's pretty much it. Probably need to try to get another game in my rotation of games. I got a game that I've been trying to play. I just haven't made the time to play it. So that's what I'm trying to get to. But that's what I've been gaming on.
Okay, Mr. D2K, what you been on, bro?
I've went on ahead and finally beat Gears 5. I had some thoughts about the game overall. It probably would take too long to explain, but overall, I thought the campaign was pretty decent. There's some interesting cliffhangers in there, some interesting things storyline wise that happen in the game where you kind of have to make a choice, and depending on the choices you make, dictates what happens at the end of the game or how the game continues on from that point. And it's definitely going to be another one because the story is nowhere near being complete. It seems like it's never going to end, but it kind of feels to me, if I could wrap this up quickly, that the same experience, the exact same experience that I got from Halo 5, I got from Gears 5.
Okay. Explain. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Halo 5, the campaign was the first time I played it. I was like, and I was kind of really sleepy, because I stayed up all night playing it, because I didn't really get to enjoy it. But I went back and played the campaign like years later, and the campaign was actually pretty slick in Halo 5. But multiplayer was trash. I mean, it's just terrible. Oh my goodness! And Microsoft has just the whole esports experience down your throat in all of their major first-party titles, and it's ruining them. And it ruined Halo 5, and to me, it ruins Gears 5 as well, because the same nonsense they tried in Halo 5, they're doing it in Gears 5, where you got all these packs and all these cards and all the statistical information, and playing Horde is not fun anymore because there's so much stuff going on and you don't even know where you are. The boards are unimaginative, and like when you're playing with people, it's like the match starts and you don't even know where the people are coming from. By the time you see where the enemy's coming from, like everybody's already there and they're shooting and killing people. You don't get to do anything. And and then you have to drag this stupid fabricator around and set that up, and before you can even start the horde mode. And even how you set that up, it's like the way that you would want to set it up, they won't let you. You have to sit up in these really weird angles and things that don't even make sense in terms of getting this laid down so you can actually set that up and then start the wave. It's just so cumbersome. The whole thing just doesn't feel like Gears. It's too complicated, it's too complex, there's too much junk in there. And they just lost, to me, it just lost the flavor of what it was supposed to be about. And it's a Microsoft issue. It's not an issue with the coalition. It's Microsoft just. I'm half expecting Microsoft Excel to be a game pretty soon. it's just had too many stats. I don't like it, and they're in trouble if this is what they think that the gamers want.
Man, okay. See, I want, like I said, Gears 5 wasn't on my radar. I forgot the game was even in development, to be honest with you. So when it started, I started seeing like Digital Foundry and what's the other? I don't even go to these websites no more. What's the gaming website that IGN? There you go. IGN doing reviews on it. I was like, where did this game come from? And so hearing you say, so you say the campaign is cool, but the online is trash. That's what you basically saying?
Well, I'm not saying the online is trash. I'm saying that horde mode is trash because it's esports horde mode, and I don't like that. I haven't tried to escape yet. That's a new function that they put into the game. I've heard good things about that. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm gonna check that out. One of these days. But just what I wanted it for, where I brought it for, I don't think I got my money's worth.
Okay, so you basically saying this one is a skipper. Basically, we can skip this.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Cool. Welcome to the show, Dark Sun Rider. Who else in here? All right, so he said, long time no here. Yeah, we've been a minute on Thursday, bro. We be trying to catch up with Jedi Knight on Sundays, man, but sometimes the Lord takes over and I can't make it. So anyway, far as me, I've been playing Astro Chain. I've been back on that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna be honest though, it can be a lot much going on screen at one time, and the controls. Me and Keith was kind of talking about this in the hangout because I know he interested in buying it. It's a good game. I enjoy the game. I mean, yeah, I took a break from it. I came back. Platinum throws a lot at you as far as the controls. There's too much to process control wise. Like each one of your, what are they called? Your legions has controls that differ from other legions and abilities that differ from other legions that you have to remember all. And I mean, it's a lot it's really a lot to try to maintain. So, but overall, you don't have to remember all this stuff, but I feel like you're not getting the full experience by not remembering and retaining all the controls and all what they want you to do. But it's just too daunting. It's too much to retain. So you really gonna be doing. You're not gonna be doing a whole lot of moves. It's just too much. But I'm still enjoying it. I'm trying to beat it. And I need to go up there and finish that Link's Awakening. I gotta get in the egg like Keith is, but I'm still stuck in the turtle. So we'll figure that out at another date.
Hey, if somebody jumped in this conversation, they'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. I'm not K-Bum. I haven't forgotten about Witcher 3, Nar, Horizon Zero Dawn. Hold up, my baby is yelling as if she doesn't know what is going on, but that's her because she loves to do this to dad. Shut that door. I'm live. Thank you. Anyway, so and she threw me off. So yeah. K-Bum, I haven't forgot about Witcher 3, Nar, Horizon Zero Dawn. I had the itch to jump back on those games this week, man. So I might get back on there at some time here in the future. So I haven't forgot about them games. But the only thing I played really this week is Astro Chain. So enjoying it. Like I said, it's still fun. what I like about Astro Train, not to draw this out to get on past this, it's just a cool game. It's just cool. Sometimes I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I'm beating people and I didn't know how I beat them. I'm not gonna lie. You know how you like, what did I do to beat you? But you said push A, so I'm push A. I guess I got you some kind of way. It has those type of elements to it that sometimes you're like, did I really beat you or did I just endure you long enough for you to forfeit? I don't know which one it was, but it's a cool looking game. I'm into the story is interesting. The gameplay is a little much. The controls is a little much. It ain't one of them games you can walk away from and come back to it and jump right back. If you gonna forget too much, and that's what happened. I forgot how to throw my I didn't forget how to throw the Legion out there, but I forgot how to jump, how to cross over borders, I forgot so much, man, because it's just that much to remember. So for controls to be so simple, it's also complicated at the same time. But I definitely feel like it's a game that anyone that owns a Switch should experience at some point. I think it's worth the purchase. I'm not saying you have to. It's not one of them games you have to purchase, but I think it is worth the purchase. And I'll leave it at that. But that's what I've gamed on this week. So let's get into our topics, man. We don't have that much, and but I want to talk about these things. So we got our main topic, next gen. What should be Nintendo's move? I should have said response, but I said move. Who glitches worse, EA or 2K? Were we wrong? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I need to fix that. And then Luigi's Mansion 3 is looking good. So let's get Luigi Mansion out the way. How many people have, because that comes out next week, how many people here has seen the latest footage of Luigi's Mansion 3? See, senor? Okay. So, have you seen it, D2? Have you seen any footage of it?
I don't think I've seen any footage of the game at all.
Okay.
What?
You might want to check it out. What about you, K-Bomb? Have you seen any footage of it?
You ain't know not to ask me about that game.
Okay, so let's go ahead and keep this going. Anyway, let me stop. So, Keith, not to drag this on, we ain't played it yet. But you know, the last podcast, this is something we talked about and we was concerned about because I was talking about Ratchet and Clank and how good it looked on the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 4, and I made a statement that Nintendo doesn't do it. They do great looking graphics, but not to that quality, right? That was my statement.
Right.
Whew!
Right.
This game look ridiculous, man. It looks like Nintendo has put that quality touch on it, man. It has that Mario Kart level touch to it, and look, in some cases, it actually looked better than Mario Kart. This game looks amazing. I'm kind of shocked that they able to pull off some of those visuals on the Switch. I really am. Some of the lighting and some of the ambience and atmosphere that of the stages is interesting. So give me your thoughts real quick. We ain't gonna belabor this because I know K-Bum don't want to talk about this at all. So what's your thoughts, man? So far, just visually.
Yeah, that video you sent me, it definitely looks beautiful. I remember the original game was beautiful, and I remember the physics of the claws, all of those things. So we already knew the Mansion was doing things that most Nintendo games didn't even do.
Right.
And I think this game is going to follow that trend. Things that a lot of games didn't do. Like, this is going to sound so simple, but I remember seeing, I think he was looking in a mirror, and it was like a perfect reflection on the GameCube.
I remember that.
So, I know this game has to push boundaries, and I'm saying per Nintendo because we know other companies have done other things graphically, but for a Nintendo game, for Luigi's Mansion, this game looks. I'm not gonna say it's day one, because being an adult and got these bills, but I'm definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, dude, you in the exact same boat. I'm like, okay, can I get away, or would I get chastised if I go get? So I've been kind of contemplating when I'm gonna go ahead and sneak that mug in the house. I might get it, not even share that I got it. Yeah. But yeah, it's looking good to me, man. It is. I'm not saying I'm going to get it on. I'm not saying I'm not, and I'm not saying I am. It's right now. It's leaning towards I am. But if some tensions happen in the house between now and then, it'll probably be I'm gonna wait. So we'll see. But definitely the game has got my attention. I'm a Luigi's Mansion fan. I like Luigi's Mansion. I love the original one. I never played Dark Moon, but when I first saw the footage, it looked cool. But this new footage, man, Nintendo has put that quality polish on it, and I'm looking forward to playing it. So anyway, let's move on so we can get K-Bum back into the conversation. So in the Hangout, and we can knock this one out real quick. K-Bum put up, I don't know if it was you, K-Bum, or was it D2K? Which one put these two videos up? It was one of WWE, and then the other one was of EA, a lot of EA titles.
Yeah.
Was that you, or was that K-Bum?
I put them both up.
Okay, so I'm going to set it up, but I want you to kind of take over. Because K-Bum has been making this point, but to see it in your face, man, I want to hear what everybody got to say. So, both the videos, and I know the WWE, this new WWE, is supposed to be tragic from what I'm hearing. Like, it's a step back from even past versions. Like, something is going on. I think WWE and Vince McMahon better be worried, because with is it AEW?
Yeah.
If AEW keep trending like they trending, and they on TNT, and I don't watch wrestling. I watch WrestleMania, but I don't really keep up no more. The Rock them ain't there. Stone Cold them gone. I don't care. NWO is not. I don't care no more. So, but I've been noticing that this AEW is picking up a lot of steam, man. And I was thinking, and this kind of goes off from what we about to talk about. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. If AEW gets something like the company that was making those old wrestling games, they got a chance. They got a chance to put a hurting on WWE. But these glitches, man, like the Rock face, that's literally, I don't know what that was what I was seeing. And so, what's going on with these games, man? With these glitches, are these the newer versions of Madden and what was it? UC, what is it? ULC, UCL, what is that? UFC and WWE. All these were the newer games. What's going on with these games with these glitches? Go ahead, D2.
As far as the WWE 2K20 game, what happened is that the development company that's been making the games pretty much since they took over for that other company you're talking about, which was AKI Asmic. I think they've been rebranded into a company called Sin Sophia or something like that. It's a Japanese company, but another company called Ukes took over for them, and they pretty much been making WWE games since like the SmackDown games on the PlayStation, like SmackDown Know Your Role and Here Comes the Pain and all that type of stuff. So what happened is that something went wrong in the relationship with WWE, where they didn't like the creative direction or whatever, and they walked off the project.
Oh,
they basically walked off the project. So 2K basically had to rebuild the game code from scratch with in-house talent and in order to get the game out at the same time that they normally get it out. And that's basically the reason why the game is a complete disaster. But I still don't I don't buy that, because different story if you just had a game. I mean, lots of games have glitches. It's not a big deal. You might have a glitch here or there. Somebody moved through a wall or something. It happens. But right. If anybody has seen any of this footage, and there's plenty of videos out there on YouTube that you can look at right now, this should be illegal. for a company to release a game with stuff like this. It's absolutely incredible. It's like they intentionally made it to be this bad. It couldn't. I mean, it's like this stuff that's happening. Like you, like how in the world could somebody look at this and say, "Yeah, book it, put it on the shelf."
Man,
I can't even describe
when the ropes when they was falling through the stage and the ropes was shot. Like, bro, that's all I was. Dude, I said at work and watched that. I couldn't help it, man. I was dying. Like every time the person would finally get out the ring and they would try to step back in and just get sucked into this vortex of glitch. And it was, dude. I literally said in the hangout, D2K, I said if that was my TV, I would have got some blessed oil and started casting out demons, man. I would have been casting all type of demons and spirits out of my TV. That stuff looked freaky. It just looked like whoever did this was like, it ain't my problem.
Basically, yeah.
This ain't my problem. We did what we could do. It's horrible. Yeah. That looks bad. I hope nobody spent $60 on that.
Oh, plenty of people did, and that's the thing.
God, man, that's sad.
But plenty of people spend a lot. I mean, I'm almost tempted to go out and buy this game just so I can laugh at the glitches. I'm almost tempted to do it.
Just to see it, man. Look, like I said, have you some holy water. You better Benny Hinn, Kabuki, and that stuff. That stuff was, look, I'm like, man, it look like the Exorcist on my TV. The heads turning backwards and like, what the world is this, man? This looks, all they did, but only thing they didn't do was spewed up green stuff. It was sad. That was pitiful. So, K-Bum, so do you feel like when seeing a game like WWE and the condition it's in, does this, in your mind, should this give EA a pass with the glitches that they be having in their sports titles, or should they be held accountable?
You don't get no pass if somebody else's game is worse than yours. I mean, I like EA, but I would never give somebody a pass. Oh man, no, you cool. They glitch is worse. Nah, I don't get no pass, man. But think is this. To be honest with you, EA's glitches are not as bad as glitches, and I'll tell you why. These glitches are repeatable. You can set up. You can, if you saw every time they put a stage and they put the chair, that's not the chair, but the ladder and whatever that step thing in the stage, and you slam someone on it, it automatically creates these glitches.
Okay.
So you can reproduce it 100% every time.
Oh, so right? them type of glitches, I seen that with Zelda Breath of the Wild. Some of the things they know how to trigger the glitch. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can tell every time the glitch happened, there was the step thing in the stage or a ladder in the stage every time.
Okay.
And so when it comes to Madden and some of the UFC and FIFA, it's not repeatable. It's not something you can trigger. You can manually trigger every single time and kind of get that glitch to happen. I mean, the glitches happen and they're more random than, you know what, I can get this to work 100% of the time. Watch this. Hold my beer. But also you have to understand, a lot of the glitches in FIFA, UFC, and Madden are because of the physics engine. And it is the players interacting with the physics engine that you get some of these wonky, crazy things. And that's hard to code against is when you have that physics engine and those players. Like if we look at a lot of the FIFA ones, it's all physics based. Some of the crazy, and you get some crazy ones in FIFA, like dude's legs spinning around and kicking the ball. Especially in UFC, you get some outstanding glitches. Those are the best. When people get to flying through the air like they're playing Street Fighter, that is always the best. But it's the physics engine, and it's the interaction with that you get those crazy glitches. And so I don't think, and this, like I said, this is not me trying to be a homer. I don't think the glitches are that bad, are as bad as it is in the wrestling game with EA. The same thing with 2K. 2K basketball game, they don't have glitches like you see in the wrestling game, but they've had this year has been the most exploits in 2K that there's ever been. And what I mean by exploits is that we play the basketball game, which you play online, you play against other people. Well, they made it kind of it's like an RPG XS thing where you have to level up your player, and then you have to use your experience points to get new badges, which allows your players to do different things. So it's very similar to RPG. But there's glitches in the game that you can immediately get your player up to a 99, which usually takes around 30 gameplay hours to get yourself to a 99. You can do it in 15 minutes with a glitch. And then there's another glitch to give your player, like I said, we were talking RPG aspects, you get yourself all the badges. So all the little attributes to your player, you can do that with a 5-minute glitch and be able to play against people online with your glitched out player.
Okay. And
they release a patch, and 3 hours later, someone's on YouTube is showing you how to do the glitch again. It's been so bad on 2K that there's no point in playing because you're playing against people. The badges are restricted to keep the player from being overpowered and doing too much. But people are finding these glitches that they're taking these players who are only supposed to be able to do this and this and that. It's like they have 7'3" centers with the crossover of AI and the shooting ability of Steph Curry. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? That's when you turn your game off and go to bed. And so 2K has been the worst I've ever seen 2K. Like, literally, like every time they release a patch, it is 2 hours later on YouTube. The guy is showing you a video saying, "Oh, this works with patch 5, whatever. You can get your player back to 99 and get them all the badges." I don't know what 2K is doing and even Rockstar, which is the society, isn't that part of 2K, Rockstar? But
yeah,
they
so.
all
Is it?
yeah,
I think so.
What's called it came out glitchy as crap.
What's that?
Red Dead. Red Dead came out glitchy as crap.
We talked about that. I mean, we're living in. I don't think you're gonna get past glitches, but the stuff we see in WWE is horrible.
No, WWE, I mean, it's the worst. But like I said, the 2K this year has been the worst it's ever been. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's just glitches. This is the worst it's ever been. It's never been this bad. That the fact that you don't even want to play online, you don't know what you're going to run against. That's what I mean by that. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to dwell on this topic too much, but yeah, that's interesting. I want to say this real quick. I'm looking at the stats, and it seems like Westbrook is already taking more shots than James Harden. 17 field goals. He took 17 shots, just regular shots, 7 3-pointers. That's Westbrook. James Harden, 13 shots, 8 3-pointers. He already shooting more than Westbrook. Just don't get it, man. Anyway, and they losing. So anyway, let's stay back on the topic. So sticking with EA. I remember when this game was first shown. I don't know if it was at E3. I forgot where we saw it at. I think it was at E3. During the E3 weekend, and EA showed off Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and we all was basically saying, it looks like a run-of-the-mill, borrowing a lot of elements from the Uncharted, from the Tomb Raider, and the gear, the Last of Us look, over the shoulder look. Well, not over the shoulder, but that type of game. Excuse me, and we kind of, I remember all of us kind of like, man, it didn't get us. Recent footage of this game has me second guessing myself on a whole nother level. This game is looking amazing, and I forgot who's making this game. Is it what's
Respawn?
Respawn, yeah. Respawn said that they are guaranteeing that this game is a pure from heart single player game with no no microtransactions, no loot boxes, no nothing. So my question is, were we wrong when it comes to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Were we wrong?
No,
Who you talking
we
to
weren't
first?
wrong.
I'm gonna let Keith come with
Huh?
it. Go ahead, Keith.
No, we weren't wrong because that's what we seen at the time. Based on what we saw, based on what they put out, based on what they decided to put out, rather, we judged it on that. And of course, they improved the visuals and the gameplay mechanics look great now. I know early on I was like, I don't want to play this. This looks like some Nintendo 64, mid GameCube, PlayStation 2 era type of gameplay. Now looking pretty legit. But no, we weren't wrong. We judged them based on what they decided to put out. That's their fault, not ours.
Somebody got a kitty
that
cat?
boss mode right there. Keep on there. That's their fault, not ours. Go ahead, DJ. You were saying something?
I heard a meow. Somebody got a kitty cat?
You probably hear my daughters them upstairs talking and hearing it from the distance.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at gameplay footage of this right now, and this looks amazing. I mean, the frame rate this has to be running on some kind of high powered PC because there's no way this is a console this smooth. I mean, there's literally no stutter, no frame rate drops, no slowdown at all. It's perfectly smooth. Lighting is amazing. Definitely want to play. I didn't hate Battlefront 2 as far as the campaign. I mean, it was okay. It was fun to play, I guess. But after that, you could pretty much, it was worth the $10 I paid for it. That's about it. But this looks, I mean, this looks really good. If it looks like this good on any console, whatever that console is, I'm getting it.
Okay. K-Bon.
Yeah, I so there's two parts to this. I do think, well, probably three parts. I do think people give EA the short stick no matter what they come out with. Like, people expect EA to do the consumer wrong. That's just pretty expected. And so there's sometimes people go in, especially when coming off the backs of Anthem. Oh Lord. People just assume EA is gonna cheat us out our money, right? There's that expectation, and then when you look at EA's track record with the Star Wars franchise, which has been, I know I kind of said it. It was, the first one was soulless, and then the other one was pure greed. The second one may have had good gameplay, but it was wrapped around a bunch of controversy and greed. And so you couldn't really enjoy the game because, they made it hard to enjoy. And so the track record with the Star Wars game is there as well. And as Keith said, what they showed us was not impressive. I'm sorry. I mean, you may have went back and got prettier and, done some things to look better, but your first impression that you gave us wasn't good. It was boring. It was bland. It reminded us of what we've seen of EA beforehand, especially when it came to the Battlefront series. It felt like a copy and paste game of other third person adventure games. I mean, I try to get EA the benefit of the doubt, but I said it then. That game looked soulless. It looked bad. I didn't care for it. So I don't think we're wrong at all. People who just want to hate EA just for being EA, those people are wrong. But the people who actually took the footage and gave their honest opinion about it, I don't think those people are wrong at all. This is what they gave us. This is what they showed us. If you want us to have a better reaction about your game, get us better footage to see. Or hold off until you can show something that better represents what the game is really is. So I know I don't take back our thoughts at all. I'm happy that we were proved wrong. Or it seems we were proved wrong. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I take back. Yeah, I think at that time what we were saying and what we felt about it was what it was. I agree with that. But you know, they showing us some new stuff, so I feel like we can come back and talk about it and basically, hey, give them the praise when praise is due. And it look like they on the right track. Hopefully, EA the suits don't go in and mess stuff up. But this could literally change. And not to stay on this too long, this could literally change the culture at EA. It probably won't, but it could if this game is successful and bring in the type of money that they multiplayer model that they follow does. If they can get that same amount of money on this title, maybe they might start rethinking they model and they structure how they approach games and microtransactions and loot boxes and all that stuff, which they probably would never will because that's extra money. But I'm excited. This has probably been the first EA game I've been excited for, man, in a long time. What happened to Anthem?
It was one of the worst launch titles launches in history. Not launch titles, sorry. They had one of the worst launches in history, man. It was absolutely terrible launch. There were guns that you got at end game. So sorry, the guns you got at the beginning of the game that were better than in game guns.
Okay.
And it's like, why did I just spend 30 hours grinding to get this gun when this gun that I had all the way back here was better? Like, someone make that make sense.
Okay.
And so it was buggy. It was the launch of it was just terrible. And then everyone just said, "Stay away." I actually saw this joke on a joke on Twitter when somebody was saying people got to be careful in certain neighborhoods. What it was, the guy said, it was a picture of a car and the window smashed in. He said, my nephew, left his Anthem game package on his car seat. And he said, it's so crazy in this neighborhood, people smashed the windows and left 3 more.
Wow. Are you serious?
Wow.
That's how bad it's a bad game, man. It's just they ruined it. They ruined BioWare. It wasn't a BioWare game. That's part of the reason too. It wasn't a BioWare game. It's like EA sucked the soul out of BioWare and they just produced this piece of crap. BioWare is usually, BioWare was the reason I bought an Xbox 360 to play the first Mass Effect. But they have not been the same company since joining with EA. That's you can't deny that.
Yeah. So you said they did what? They beat the window in and did what? They
smashed the window and left the 3 other Anthem games in the car. Oh man, that's terrible. Terrible game.
Okay, so we have made it through our smaller topic. So let's get on our main topic. So we've been talking about Nex-Gen. Sony and Microsoft got their, PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet on deck for next year, right? PlayStation 5 looking like it's possibly going to be a beast of a system. They saying this is that next gen, that true leap we was wanting between, 7th generation to the 8th generation. This was the leap people wanted. We're about to experience it, right? And so, of course, that's what they say. We don't know. They talking about ray tracing. They talking about solid state drives. All the stuff that's going on under the hood of the PlayStation 5 and the currently named Scarlet, whatever the Xbox hosts. One thing, Microsoft got to get their names together. Xbox One, Xbox One X, like they got to get their names together. This is getting off into some Terminator. And we don't know what
they do not have a common thread. How do you go from 360 to 1?
Then
Like,
go
what-
to 1X.
I mean, they started over.
Yeah, like, yeah, how you go from 360 to 1, then add another X on the 1. Like, whoever is naming the these systems for Microsoft need to go over to Sony or Nintendo and figure out something. Cause Nintendo did do Wii and
Not
Wii U.
Nintendo.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Don't go to them. That's the wrong direction to go.
They should have called it Xbox 180 and turned it around because
My man said 180.
Why not just call it the Xbox? I don't know what you call it now because you said 1. You said 360, so you can't say 2 because the 360 was the Xbox 2. So I don't know where they can go with it. Well, how many Xbox have it been? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Can they go Xbox 5? Can they go Xbox 5?
They can't go back to counting after this.
They can't. Technically, they can. Look, Xbox OG. Let's follow me and we get into the topic. Xbox OG, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox One X. That's 4 Xboxes. Xbox 5. Microsoft.
I mean, I understand the concept, but I'm saying that's stupid. You can't go back to counting numbers after you done went around the world and added letters, and you can't just start counting numbers now. That's terrible.
What about the Xbox NX? Anyway, let me
Nintendo
stop.
might still be using that later, but it's not a conversation.
So
call it Xbox 10.
So getting back to the subject, because we on good time and I don't want to be on here too long. So we know we kind of getting a sense of what they're doing, right? We got a sense, not tangible. They ain't showed us anything, but what they're talking about, we kind of getting what they plan is, and they are looking to step it up, I guess. So the question is, we was watching. Dr. Trey had a video up about how, and he was giving his thoughts on, the fact that many people want to know. Well, let me back up. For the sake of entertainment, let me do this first. Watch the Super Metal Dave video.
And boom goes dynamite.
Now, I watched the video strictly and purely for curiosity because I always just pass by and I'll be seeing 6,000, 7,000 views and I'll be like, why do people continue to watch this dude videos week after week, month after month, year after year when this dude has been wrong at least 99.9996% of the time. So I was like, I always skip. And I was thinking about you, D2K, when I clicked the button to watch. I was like, D2K will reach through this phone and slap me if he saw what I was about to do. So I'm at work. I was like, I'm gonna check it out. And what I've come to conclude is what Super Metal Dave does is he gets a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of rumors, a whole bunch of videos and spec talk and speculations, and he throws it into one big old pot and he says eat. And that's kind of what I was sharing, and it's just a gumbo of stuff. You don't know what is what.
Hey, don't bad talk gumbo.
Okay, it's just a pot. It's just a pot. It's one of those mystery pots. When somebody bring a bowl to the potluck, and you be like, "Who cooked this?" you asking around. So who cooked this? Does Miss Jackson cook this? Does Sister Ware cook? Who cooked this? I ain't eating it. That's kind of what Super Metal Dave be doing. So it was some interesting stuff. He said, I'm not gonna front. There was some interesting stuff. He showed this video where they was getting this level of lighting and stuff without ray tracing through Unreal Engine 4. So he had some interesting stuff, but none of the stuff tied to anything else that he talked about, bringing it up to the Nintendo Switch Pro or Switch 2 or whatever. So I shared it with you guys. I'm pretty sure none of you watched it. So Dr. Trey put a video out talking about how in light of the new systems coming out, that Nintendo has nothing to worry about, and he feels that Nintendo should not do anything but put out games. They don't need to make a new system or anything in response to the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Scarlet. They should just stay the course, put out quality first party titles, and let it lay where it lay, and come at a later date, at a later time, with a new system. So I was curious about your thoughts on this. What should Nintendo's response be? I want to throw this at K-Bone first. K-Bone 20.
You some of us.
I don't want you to get no points from Keith. I don't want you to get no points from D2. I want to know what you think about the Switch under your TV. What should Nintendo do in response of the next-gen systems coming out? Should they do nothing? Just stay the course, keep making quality games? Should they put out a revision, a more beefier Switch? Should they make a system that can compete directly with these systems? What should they do, bro? The floor is yours.
So what Nintendo should do? Nintendo needs not to forget that gamers are crackheads, and that what's going to happen is that everyone is going to be looking at all these shiny new toys, and they're going to turn back and look at their Switch and say, "Why can't you be that shiny new toy?" people, even when it wasn't needed for us to switch to PS4. I personally bought a PS4 because it was shiny and it was new. I was enjoying my PS3 titles. I thought the PS3 titles still had legs to them, but the PS4 was shiny and new. And I do not believe, and maybe call me wrong, because maybe I don't fully, I don't fully understand the Nintendo community. But I understand gamers, and I understand gamers like shiny new things. Even, and I'm not gonna put his name down, but I even saw Terminator Juice playing God of War on a PS4.
Oh, he played it? Not
Terminator Juice was playing
stop.
on a PS4. No, not a PS4, a PS4 Pro.
No, we're not going here because you know we mess around and cause a boom storm.
No, I am not hating on Terminator Juice. Okay. That's not what I'm doing.
Let's make that clear. We're not hating on him.
I am not hating on the brother. I'm just saying that he got bored enough to get a Pro. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
he got bored enough and got a Pro and got a War and got he's playing Lost Odyssey, the Uncharted one with the girls. I forgot the name of that one.
Oh,
Lost
yeah, I haven't played that one.
Yeah, I haven't played that one either.
Lost Chapters? Is it Lost Chapters or?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But he got bored enough, and he went and got a Pro. And what I'm saying is that I don't think Nintendo can sit back and just say the Switch is our game system for the next 7. No, I think they have to do something, and what that something is, because this you have to take this into account as well. What is Nintendo trying to do? Are they trying to still get third-party support? Because if they're having issues and trouble getting PS4 games to be downgraded and run on the Switch, there may be even more trouble reducing a PS5 game to run on the Switch. Because when you look at Overwatch and you look at The Witcher and how much they had to downgrade, even Mortal Kombat, how much they had to downgrade to get it to run successfully, for those who do run successfully on the Switch, for some of those games was a bit much. And that's specifically talking about third-party support.
Lost
And
Legacy.
now
That's the name of it. The Lost Legacy.
Thank you, sir. A little bit too late, but anyway, thank you.
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to help my brother out. I get thrown under the bus.
Hey, bro, I appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate it, man.
I might actually go get this game. Go ahead.
But the thing is, it's going to be hard for them to get some of the main PS5 titles because of the wide differences in technologies. So I really think, personally, this is me personally, I don't think Nintendo should do this, but Nintendo should do this. I would love Nintendo to play ball, man, and say, you know what, we used to release powerful systems, we can still do that. Because the GameCube graphics was better than the PS2. I mean, I'll come out and say that it was better. It had better looking games than the PS2.
Wow, 64 graphics were better than the
how many
original
decades
PlayStation.
later? How many decades?
No, I said that then, player.
No, you did. No, you did.
Yes, I did. Yes.
I'm hurt.
No, yes, I did.
I'm hurt that this Yu-Gi-Oh playing, this Yu-Gi-Oh Tekken playing dude. When I would bring my GameCube with Def Jam Vendetta, he would act like I was handing him some inferior hardware.
Because you would hand me that terrible joystick. That's what I hated, that joystick.
Oh,
like,
man. Keith, y'all should have saw when I would bring it up there, bro. I bring it up there with all the controllers, Mario Kart, Def Jam Vendetta, all of us, Smash Bros. And this dude be sitting up here acting with his nose up in the air like, really? You want me to play this system? And then he gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Crap out of Mario Kart. Don't do that.
Yeah, you did.
I played the crap out of Mario Kart. Don't do me.
He gonna play some
I was all
Yu-Gi-Oh!
up in that game.
Yu-Gi-Oh, man. I'm
Anyway.
like, you gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh over Def Jam?
Are you gonna let me have my time? Or you?
Oh, my bad. I forgot I was. Yeah, we on the podcast. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
This is '99, bro. But I would love for Nintendo. Well, you know what we can do. You guys think you're the bee's knees when it comes to graphics and comes to releasing a powerful system. We've been releasing systems since your mother was in diapers. You know what I'm saying? They should come out and show them that, hey, we can still do this. But, you know, it's not a Nintendo way. They like to be different and purposely do things that no one else asked them to do, just so it can be different. I understand that. But if you ask me, that's what I would love them to do, and come out with some ridiculous looking Zelda games like that realistic Unreal Engine 4 Zelda game that we saw that was a fan made that we were like,
about the Wii U? The Wii U one?
No, we saw one that it was a fan made one.
Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And we was like, man, that was legit. I would love for Nintendo to do that. Like I said, that's personally me.
That's cool.
That's my. I don't think they're gonna do it, but I hope they do. But just show them, hey guys, you know, we've been working on this on the side. We can do this too. So that's my thought.
I mean, you know, they could do that, but I ain't really tripping off of that. You know, they could. Let me stop. Go ahead, Keith Norris. What should they do? Should they do nothing but keep making quality games? Should they make a revision to the Switch, or should they make a system that can compete directly with the next-gen pieces of hardware? Bro, lay it on us. What do you think?
I should hire Reggie back. No.
Hire Reggie back?
Reggie did actually Reggie was in the news. I haven't seen what he was talking, but he was talking about something with the Wii and the Wii U or something. I need to go.
Yeah, I read the quote that he said.
What did he say?
He said that the Wii U was a fail forward because it brought us to the Nintendo Switch.
Well, at least we get that spin. That's some good spinning by Reggie. He's still doing what he doing.
This dude is not even working for the company no more, and he's still spinning.
He can't help it, bro. He can't help but spin it. What was that? Chris Rock. When he talking about he was talking about the rims. They spin. They spin. Y'all remember that stand up? Thank you. Somebody help me out. Dang, y'all.
Go ahead, Norris.
Okay.
K-Bub up there bringing up stuff we don't know what he's talking about, but good.
Let's turn to my time.
Some haters, man.
We don't know what you're talking
Man, Bigger and Blacker. That's the name of it. Bigger and
So
Blacker.
what I think Nintendo should do is, me personally, they need a revision. Not to compete per se with whatever Microsoft and Sony are doing. They need a revision for themselves, in my opinion. And I know a lot of Nintendo fans right now listening. What? It's perfect the way it is. Okay, fine. That may be in your world, but Nintendo has to make way too many compromises uh, with their games, and we clearly know what they're trying to do, but they have to pull back on themselves. Like you look at a game like Breath of the Wild, and I'm just going to use the same example that I was using in our chat. You look at a game like Breath of the Wild, that's a Wii U port, and the Switch still couldn't take it and make it 1080p, 30 frames per second, depth of field, high res textures, and all this other stuff. The Switch was still lacking. Those features, yes, it looked better, it performed better than the Wii part, but Nintendo had to make too many sacrifices to get that game to run, and it's their game. You know what I mean? Yes,
Yeah.
we praised Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion looks beautiful, but can you imagine that being on a console that's across the board 1080p, 60 frames per second, with those uh, textures and all those other things? That's why I feel like Nintendo needs to make a revision or a refresh, not necessarily to compete. Because I was talking to a guy on one of Dr. Trey's videos, and it's still there. Um, it's not a matter of competition because 90% of the games that this guy was talking about, because he's talking about third party, you can play everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You have those options. We was talking about, K-Bone was just talking about Mortal Kombat and Witcher and the sacrifices that they make. Well, go play those games over there. They're there, but Nintendo, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to fold and say, well, we just going to, we can't do what we really want to do, so we're going to do this? No, make a console where you can do what you really want to do, and that's why I feel that they should make a revision. They don't, like I said, they don't have to do the whole 4K. They don't have to try to bust your wallet. The other three people are going to do that for you, and Google. So it's just continue making games, but they do need a revision, in my opinion.
Okay. D2K, thoughts? Should they stay the course, quality games, revision, or should they compete directly with what Sony and Microsoft is doing? The floor is yours, bud.
No, I can't really believe I'm going to say this, but um, agree with Dr. Trey.
Okay.
Here's the thing: because Nintendo chose to release this, and we know the reason why is that they couldn't afford to wait until now to release their next gen console. Because if they had kept up with their normal release schedule, like 5 to 7 years, they probably would have been coming out this year with their console. They couldn't afford to wait that long. They had to release the Switch when they did in 2017. Way now they're out of step with Microsoft and Sony. Well, it's slowed down quite a bit, but it's still selling very well from a week to week basis, and it's doesn't look like it's going to slow down tremendously. Probably not until we get these other consoles, and then there'll be some competition there. But in the short term, it's fine. You still got major games coming out for the Switch and everything this year, and you still got games in the near future that are going to be big sellers for the Switch. So um, in the short term, they'll be fine. They have the luxury of time now to a certain extent, and I'll explain that. Because of the goodwill they've built up with the success of the Switch, they don't necessarily have to jump and try to meet Microsoft and Sony like in 2021 with another console that's on par with theirs. Because as long as they have the dynamic of saying, we can take our games on the go. They can't. You have an ace in the hole. You have something that you can stick in your cap and say, well, we've got this option. They don't. They have the better graphics. They have the better visuals. They have the better sound. Blah 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 blah. But we have this. So our console remains an and, not an or. So even if people are buying the PlayStation 5, even if they're buying the Xbox Scarlet, they still may opt to buy a Switch because they want to play Bayonetta 3, because they want to play Metroid Prime 4, because they want to play the next Mario game. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So there's a reason to have the Switch as it is, even though these consoles are far more powerful than the Switch is. Now, that's not going to keep for too much longer. At a certain point, you're going to have to upgrade what you have, because right now, a lot of companies are bending over backwards just to get their games on the Switch in the first place. So when you look at what they're going to be offering in terms of specs and what we know to be true about the specs of the next gen consoles, that's way too far of a gap. And there's no logical reason for any company to try to dumb down their games from that level just for the Switch. It's stupid to do that. The question is, how powerful does a Switch revision need to be, and how do you measure that with price? Because if you look at the most powerful gaming tablets that are on the market right now that can go toe to toe with any gaming PC, those things are at least $1,800. So if you're going to try to get something that's somewhat close to what Microsoft and Sony and Google are offering, it is you're going to pay a lot of money for this console. And people are going to have to ask themselves a serious question. Is it worth me paying over $500 for this revision of the Switch when I can possibly buy the newer version, the newer consoles for the same price? You see what I'm saying? Is portability that important to you that I'll buy this Switch Pro, quote unquote, that can give me PS4 or PS4 Pro level graphics on and give me PS4 level graphics on the go? Is it really worth paying $500 for? Because you're going to have to pay at least that, probably more, if that's what you want. Seriously, being perfectly serious with that, you're not going to get a PS4 level portable system for less than $500. It just can't be done. And it's not even about the technology; it's about cooling that technology so the thing doesn't melt in your hands while you're playing it. I mean, tablets were designed. Tablets were designed to do a myriad of different things, and they weren't really designed for hardcore gaming, so to speak. Because you're really beating up the processor when you're playing video games. That's the reason why gaming PCs have to have these intricate cooling systems to keep the PC or the CPU cool. That's the reason why game consoles have to be the size that they are, and they're coming up with more advanced technology in terms of more advanced heat sinks that they can make smaller form factors and still have powerful processors in there. But it's still not going to be. You're not going to be able to have a Switch form factor and have that kind of power. You just can't. It's not going to be small. It's going to be bigger than what the Switch is, and it kind of defeats the purpose of being portable. So you just have to for me, the Switch alone, and take advantage of the opportunity and the relationship that you have with NVIDIA. We have all this talk about ray tracing in gaming. They're in the forefront of that. At the forefront of producing ray tracing in PC gaming and so on and so forth. Go to NVIDIA and say, let's build a monster console for those people who want that. And who knows? Maybe this was Nintendo's plan all along. Just to let Microsoft and Sony show their cards, and they can say, that's really cute, PlayStation 5. Look at this. It could be some kind of monster console that uses a RTX 2080 and has some Intel processor in it, and that can come out maybe in like 3 years from now. So that would get the Switch maybe like, let's see, 6 years on the market for the Switch as it is. And then people were like, whoa, so then they have lots of options available to them. I think that, to me, that'd be their best option, to go ahead and just leave the Switch alone, make more games, because you can't play Mario on PS4. You can't play Zelda on the Xbox. You can only play that on the Switch. That's something that Nintendo will always have, and they can leverage that, and they can bide their time and make a more powerful console for people who want that, and the people who still have the Switch. I say make a revision that makes the functionality of the Switch better. Fix the online, fix all the other junk that's wrong with it, so it works the way it should, not make it more powerful.
Okay.
I did have one point to your portability piece. That is the piece that I don't know how long Nintendo is going to be able to have that piece, because that's the point of the streaming that PlayStation and Xbox is working on. And even the last update of the iPhone, they even allow you to use PS4 and Xbox joysticks for iPhone. And so I think their counter to Play Anywhere, which is what you're able to do with the Switch, is their counter is going to be able to stream those games, those PS5 games, directly to your phone, tablet device, similar in the same fashion that Stadia is doing. So,
yeah, I mean, I thought about that at first, because remember, I was one of the first people saying that this could be a huge problem for Nintendo, and they could pretty much kill the Switch if it takes off. But
right.
Microsoft has been too inconsistent in their approach to this. They have not
agreed.
They've been too wishy-washy, and it's not something that Nintendo needs to be focused on, because you don't want to get trolled into making a decision that you didn't have to make. When they come out, when they actually offer that, then you have to come out with something. But as of right now,
well, I'm not saying they should saying that that could be Xbox and Sony's answer to the portability question.
Oh, they definitely trying to answer the portability through the mobile phones and the streaming. But again, you still have a luxury with the Switch, with the controls and everything being right there. And with that others, you had to go and purchase all that stuff to make it feasible to use it that way. You got to go buy the attachments and all that to make the phone do what?
No. If you have a controller, your PS4 controller, you just Bluetooth it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like on the train and on the bus, you're gonna need the Switch got the Joy-Cons connected to the actual screen, whereas you would have to have the controller and put your phone up somewhere and then pull your controller out. It still don't have that luxury yet, but it's you can do it. They got devices out there that can make the phone be just like what the Switch is, but it still requires the consumer to buy something else where the Switch doesn't. But
the convenience.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Convenience.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Right now, get my thoughts on it. I agree. I'm between Norris and D2K when it comes to what Nintendo should do. I believe that Dr. Trey is correct when it comes to 2020. He correct. But as soon as 21, as soon as the holiday is over, Nintendo could have a problem trying to wait that out another year to build up hype for whatever is next. That's my only concern. Like, I believe, yes, Zelda, if you bring out a Zelda and a Bayonetta 3 and a Metroid Prime 4 and a Pikmin or whatever, it would take care of 2020. But as soon as 2020 is over, and the hype of the holiday is over, and you unbeat the game over the holiday break, and you into deep January, early February, and Sony and Microsoft is starting to pull out them and E3 show up, and Sony and Microsoft got that could now to me, Nintendo, that is a gamble here. That's what I'm saying. There's a gamble here. So Dr. Trey is not wrong, but at the same time, a person that's saying what Norris is saying is not wrong either. And I'm kind of more leaning towards Norris than D2K. I mean not D2K, but than Dr. Trey, because of this reason. You don't want to take the gamble and lose the momentum you built up reacting on the back end of whatever Sony and Microsoft are going to do. Me, I would say be proactive. There's nothing stopping you. You got the money. We all know D2K articulated it excellent. They had to do the switch. They had no choice. They literally took an NVIDIA Shield and made it portable with a dock. That's what they did. They took an NVIDIA Shield and made a Nintendo platform out of it. And can we all concede to that? It's just an NVIDIA Shield recast and reformed for Nintendo. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They had to. The same chip, same everything. So you have made buku dollars off of this thing. There is no reason why you can't do what you would have done if the Wii U was successful. To me, that's what they need to not. I don't feel like it needs to compete with Sony and Microsoft. I don't think it needs to be 4K. None of that. I think 1080p, solid frame rates. But D2K said something that I didn't think about. And I gotta ask you a question. So you don't believe 1080p 60 frames in the Switch like form factor is feasible for an affordable price? Is that what you're saying, D2?
No, because you still have the PS4 and Xbox, the Xbox that struggle in certain games given the stat. And we've been asking for that since the 7th gen. Okay. We were promised that in the 7th gen. And we still got games that are still chugging along at 30 frames per second. It's 1080p. You know, I mean, so it's asking this. That's asking too much for that size and that form factor.
Okay. Now, could we go back to the thought? Okay, because I feel like this is my opinion. I think Nintendo cannot go back to a straight up box under the TV. I don't think they can do it. Not at this time. They have opened up a door that people didn't think they wanted it, that they wanted. Now you can't give it to me like the gamepad. I'm not gonna lie. There's features on the gamepad that I want on my Switch. It's a lot of stuff that the gamepad did that the Switch does not do, and I miss it. Me and Norris talked about this last week. There's things the gamepad did, and there's certain what's the word you used just a second ago? Conveniences that the gamepad gives you that the Switch doesn't. And I miss some of that stuff. But I think the Switch is going to be in the same boat. People ain't going to want to go back to not having that luxury of undocking that thing and going out the door. Like, it has become a part of my life. When I got to go up to St. Louis and spend time with the in-laws, and we going on vacation, I can just undock that thing, throw it in the case, zip it up with my games, and I'm out the door. I ain't had to unhook nothing. All I had to do is bring me a controller. It's just so convenient. The place, I don't want to go back to having to unhook stuff, pull cards out. No, I don't know. I want to undock. See what I'm saying? So I think Nintendo is in a very, it ain't no urgent position, so I don't want to. It ain't urgent, but they got to be real strategic and real smart, because it's still is while there is not urgency here, there is still a gamble there that that they play it wrong, they can set themselves back. So, but I don't think
is that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the thing is that you have people that want just to keep that hybrid experience because they didn't know that they wanted it, and now that they have it, they've experienced it. That's the way they want gaming to be from now on. But you have a large portion of people out there who were never interested in a hybrid. They were only interested in the portable, so they stuck with their 3DS. And then when the Switch Lite came out, so okay, now I'll get the Switch, and they got the Switch Lite. And you have another large contingent of people who said, I'm not interested in portable gaming at all, so I'm not getting the Switch. So Nintendo releases a set-top box that plays Switch games. They'll say, okay, I'll get that. So it goes back to what Iwata was saying at the beginning, way back in 2013, that he wanted to have a family of consoles with the same operating system, a portable, a hybrid, and a home dock.
Okay.
So that way, Nintendo, everybody gets what they want. If you want the ability to take your game on the go, you can have that. If people don't want to deal with the dock at all, they can get the portable Switch Lite. If people don't want to fool with portability at all, they can get the home terminal. And that would be Nintendo's best bet because that way everything is covered. And they, like I said, they have to leverage this
momentum
relationship that they have with Nvidia because Nvidia has a streaming service called GeForce Now. So you have the ability to go through them to do streaming to the Switch. So you don't have to, necessarily sell out to Google or Microsoft and use their infrastructure if you want to do streaming to the Switch. You already can do that because, like you just said, the Switch is nothing more than the Nvidia Shield with Nintendo wrappings around it.
Right.
So they just have to have the mentality or the guts, the testicular fortitude, whatever you want to call it, to go ahead and pull the trigger and say, okay, always do different for different sake. We can go down the straight line, down the boulevard sometimes. The most creative people are not the people who just go off on a tangent and do the craziest things and hope that it works. It's people who can take things that everybody else is doing and make it stand out.
Okay, let me say this, and I want to make it clear, because people, when we get to talking about this stuff, I don't really care because this ain't where I'm saying, because people think y'all just want an Xbox 5, a PlayStation 5, and an Xbox 5, an Xbox Scarlet. No, no, that's not it. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Scarlet. I'm getting one of the two, if not all of them. At some point, I probably will have all of them, but I'm getting a little more wiser. I'm definitely gonna probably have a PlayStation 5 when it comes out. I'm probably gonna sweet talk my wife into accepting my desire and need. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I had to kiss something.
That sounds like some other stuff.
Yeah, let me stop. I'm gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to get this PlayStation 5. No, I'm just real. I'm gonna get the PlayStation 5 one way or another. I'm gonna get it. So I have that itch scratched, like D2K was saying. But I will say this, man. The GameCube, to me, Nintendo, and we talked about this, and I don't want to drag this out. I want us to end, and we could pick this up another time. But the game, I want Nintendo to revisit their ambition that they had from what they're trying to do from a technical sense, graphical sense. I do want to see Nintendo return to that Nintendo where they are trying to blow you away. Because I think that's an aspect of Nintendo that people have forgot, that these boys are bad at making video games. They good. Like when I look at Luigi's Mansion, and you doing that on a Switch, and Keith said it, it forces me, and it forces me to ask the question: what if you actually had the power that you need to really realize what your vision? You are what you say, Keith. You are compromising to keep it in this I guess, to make these small incremental changes or these small increases in power, you are compromising, you are forfeiting other aspects of what you can do to stay there. And I think they had to do it after the GameCube. They didn't have to do it after the Wii, but they did it anyway with the Wii U. And then they had to do what they had to do with the Switch. But I don't think they have to do that again. And I think if the model is what D2K is saying, if you're gonna have 3 different platforms that work together, then and you are with NVIDIA. You are with NVIDIA. They got some of the best. That everybody talks about NVIDIA and they graphic cards and all that stuff. What if, man? What if Nintendo decided, hey, let's remind these dudes who was here first and who had them shaking with what was the Star Wars game on the GameCube?
Rogue Leader.
Was it Rogue Leader?
Rogue Leader.
Rogue Squadron. Yeah. Rogue Squadron and all the games that you're doing, like they was really pushing. There was Resident Evil 4. Like they was pushing some real next-gen stuff.
Well, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil, all the Resident Evils on there, matter of fact.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean,
I'll throw Pikmin in there.
Pikmin, yeah. So, GameCube was Nintendo's competing graphics for graphics with the other companies. The only thing Nintendo did wrong was the design far as
mini discs.
The small discs, yeah, and that
mini discs.
Yeah, the mini discs. That's what Nintendo messed up at.
And no online.
No online, and that I liked the GameCube controller, but I didn't like the GameCube controller as well. I liked it and I didn't like it.
What it did, it made people who were not GameCube players like there's no muscle memory.
Right.
When playing that, you're so foreign that people who don't own a GameCube want to play your game, and I'm like, where is the A or the B, whoever that button is? Why is this curved?
Why is it was
seriously, they alienate, man.
Yeah,
they want to be they really do that.
It was too much of a departure from what they had with the SNES and even the N64 controller. You know,
so
absolutely.
So is it time? And look, and let me say this again. I want this made to understood clear. None of us are saying we need this. I'm telling you, 1080p on the go would be what I would ask for if they was, because I like the Switch has proven to me that I like that. As a gamer, I like the option to dock, undock, play on TV, play on my table, play in my hand. I love it. I don't want anything outside of that. But if there was something that I would be for other than 1080p, 60 frames per second, Switch 2, it would be Nintendo making the true successor to the GameCube. I would and see Nintendo first party titles competing graphics for graphics, power for power with any other company. I don't think people ready to see that. I don't think people.
Ain't that what I said?
No, you said.
Okay, go ahead.
You said it. But I'm saying, what I'm saying is, I don't need that. But what I'm saying, I don't need it, but I want 1080p.
You need it.
No, listen, for real talk. I want 1080p, 60 frames, Switch form on the go. That's what I want.
Real talk, just like we were saying before, like the whole hybrid thing was something that people didn't know that they wanted until they had it. Right.
Now I have it. I want it.
You let Nintendo show up at E3 with a new console that's more powerful than the PS5, and they show you some graphics that look like some Unreal
D2K, we might not do a podcast for like 4 years after that. I'm serious. I'm all for, that's what I said. I'm all for it. Like, if they don't do the 1080p 60, that's what I'm asking for. That's what I would like for them to do. If they want to stay kind of doing what they're doing currently, making small bumps, not trying to do the next level leap stuff, then that's what I would ask for Nintendo. Okay, Nintendo, if you want to keep doing that, at least get us 1080p 60 on the go. I'm with that. I'll give you $299. I'll give you $399 for that. I have no problem with dropping that for that. But if you don't do that, I would be for what you just described. And because, yeah, you doggone right, I want to see Zelda and Mario. And I want to see what Nintendo can do with Microsoft Sony power. Because I'm just going to be honest, and I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to be done. I do not think gaming is ready for what Nintendo would do with that power. Because we see what they do with nothing.
Wait, whoa. Clear it up.
No, that's just being real. I ain't got nothing to clean up. That's legit. They are using an NVIDIA shield. They're making these games look the way they look on an NVIDIA shield running at not even in the
underclocked NVIDIA shield.
Thank you. It's like dude, the stuff the tricks that they are pulling off to make these games look the way they look. I could only imagine what them creators, those developers, and Nintendo Studios could do if they have the power that the PlayStation 5 and Microsoft have. Could you see look what they did with the GameCube and Metroid?
Hey,
I'm just telling you what I think, man. I don't think Sony and Microsoft will want to see that. I really don't.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a dangerous line you're playing, because you're basically somebody could take that what you just said and say, well, Nintendo should just go third party. It's a dangerous line.
Well, they can have that dangerous line. I don't care. I ain't taking back what I said. I'm saying Nintendo is doing a whole lot with a little bit. That's what I'm saying. I refrain.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they doing a whole lot with a little bit, and that's been the argument. I don't want to get to 2 hours because we're gonna have to end this. That's been the argument. Nintendo makes crappy hardware, but they make great games. So why not go third party?
They make underpowered hardware. It's not crappy.
It's not crappy, but they, because it's underpowered, people gonna say it's crap. That's what I'm just going by what they were saying. I'm saying y'all not y'all, and I'm saying those who say that is missing the fact that look at what they doing with what you consider crap. Look what they pulling off with what you consider crap. You don't want to see them with equal.
That's
real talk. And not no council war. I'm not on that. I'm saying because I think I like Sony. That's like when I'm looking at Sony and Microsoft. I love Microsoft. I like some of Microsoft. I'm just realizing I'm a Sony guy outside of Nintendo. Sony impressed me with Gears of War 4. Sony impressed me with
God of War.
God of War. Yeah, God of War. I'm sorry. Yeah, God of War 4. Sony impressed me with Horizon Zero Dawn. Sony has been impressed me with Uncharted and Last of Us. Sony is Nintendo's younger brother to me. That's how I look at it. And
Sony is what Nintendo used to be. Microsoft is trying to be what Nintendo used to be. They can't quite figure it out.
I don't know. I won't say they what Nintendo used to be, but they learned a lot from Nintendo. I'll put it like that.
Nintendo used to be about just giving you what we asked for and calling it a day.
I can concede on that.
And that's what Sony is.
When Nintendo created Sony, that's their fault. But anyway.
Right. I'm just saying from a gamer's perspective who happens to be a Nintendo. I love Nintendo IPs. That's what I'm saying. I was geeked to see Uncharted 4. Now, when I played it, no, it wasn't Uncharted 2 in the full experience, but visually, that was an impressive game. God of War 4 was, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? That was, oh my God. there's been nothing. All the games I played this generation, God of War 4 is that deal. It's at the top of the list. Ain't nothing touched it yet. No experience had me outside of maybe Breath of the Wild was right there in the run with it. But if I just be honest, I know this will blow you away because of the story. And the fact that the
wait,
let me finish. Before you interrupt, let me get this out. Because of the story and because of what Nintendo did with the ending of Breath of the Wild, I had to I give Gears. I let God of War nudge it out. But if Nintendo would have concluded Breath of the Wild on a higher note, then I would definitely be Breath of the Wild, God of War. But them my two games of the year. Odyssey was cool. I enjoyed Odyssey. But of all the games I played this generation, God of War 4 and Breath of the Wild are them two games. And could you imagine, Keith, what Breath of the Wild could have been with just Xbox 360, PlayStation 4 power? Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
It definitely has more than 360.
I mean, Xbox One. They got too many numbers, man. I don't care about that. So anyway, my phone telling me it's time to go. So, any final thoughts?
I just have one question, and we can answer it really quickly. It can be yes or no. But do you guys think Nintendo cares about being number one?
No. I would say under Miyamoto, under Iwata and Reggie and Miyamoto and all of them, no. I'm starting to wonder with these new faces coming in, is the itch possibly coming back?
Well, I think that they kind of have to have that mentality because that kind of when you are not trying to be number one, then you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail. You have to. I mean, it doesn't matter where you end up, as long as you're trying to be the best. You're gonna give us the best quality of whatever it is that you can give us, and that's the reason why we haven't gotten what we need to get from Nintendo. That's the reason why the Wii U happened. That's the reason why stuff kind of falls through the cracks, because you're not trying to give us your best. You're just trying to be slick and throw something against the wall, hope that it sticks, instead of just putting all your chips to the table and say, we're giving you everything we've got. The GameCube, that's another example. You had this powerful system that was only just a hair less powerful than the Xbox, but you take the DVD player out, you take the online out, you give us this wacky controller, and none of that was necessary. If you gave us the Panasonic Q instead of the GameCube, the whole gaming scape right now will be completely different.
Yeah. Yep. So, any other thoughts? Like I said, I think we in good time.
Did everyone answer that? Oh, yeah, I think everybody. Keith said no. DJK said no. You said no too, but you don't know how these new guys are.
I say no. I think under the old, at the GameCube, I don't think Iwata them was looking to be number one anymore. But I think the desire, the itch is slowly creeping back in. It's just certain things they're doing. And I think crossing over into HD and actually making these games, I think that itch might hit them to want to see what they can actually pull off. How far they can take their skills. I think there's some people might be pushing for that behind the scenes. Before things are said and done, I think they might try to make that system that we talking about. But I'm not
I'm gonna add something to my no. I say no. I say no because they're more concerned with being profitable. However, I feel like if the profits really do start to decline, and Nintendo has to open their war chest and they start losing some of that, I think you'll see that console like Rebel was talking about. You're gonna see that like, okay, we'll give you what you want now. We're here. We listen. You know what I mean? Because like, okay, you're no longer accepting our BS anymore. And not saying the Switch is BS or the Wii was BS, but you're no longer accepting our creativity, and I'm doing air quotes here. So I think if things start to really look bad, they're gonna go traditional.
You're not respecting our hustle.
In a heartbeat.
That's it. Our hustle.
Huh?
You have figured out our hustle, and let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
That's
right,
a good point.
man.
I just summed up my thought before I can get it out, so I appreciate that. 'Cause I think that reflects on how they make games that fight to be number one. So thanks, DK. Appreciate that.
All right, well, this has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast. D2K, Keith Norris, K-Bum20. We hope y'all enjoyed it. We're trying to keep these things a little shorter. No more 2 hours and 30 minutes. I can't do it no more. I think this is perfect timing. Anything else? Are we done? You finished or done? Which one is it? All right, fellas. We out of here till next time, folks. Deuces.